Alright, so here we go. Let's look at this one more time. This was from Thursday. So bold us on pull. Spin them. Alright, so we have 3 seconds to spread. This is only melee. Range should be grouped up on the right leg. All melee should be spreading out like you guys are. This looks good. Alright, so there's Rage. Rage stays on the left. Now, since we started to change this up, make sure we drop the buffs on the right side. So with the crit buffs left, haste buff is right. We didn't do it here. This is later on. Well, no, they did a decent job actually. So grab the buff that you need and then get out of the way. So since the buff is here, the person with the fear has to get the ones on this outside. They cannot be picky. So we need to grab it and get out of the way. This should be over a little bit farther. We don't do that. We started to do it better though after this pull. So that dodge is good. Remember, at this point, he can just scythe right off the bat. So if you're standing where my cursor is right now, like in this area, you can die. You can stand back here, hugging the fog. Alright, so the fear is on the left, which is good. Or rage, wow. Rage on the left is good. Alright, so here's another spread. This is the second one, so range can stay grouped up, and melee has a spread. That was a good spread over here. Notice how Cheeto's not hitting the boss. This is good. He knows that he cannot be in melee range if he gets the debuff. That's good positioning. Losing a couple seconds of damage is better than killing somebody. That's good. So we group back up instantly, and then the rage goes to the left. So good position here. Rage left. Everybody else is grouped. Alright, so he's going to cone, and we have these buffs, okay? So what needs to be happening is these people, as soon as he starts to cone, needs to get out and drop their buffs over here. This is going to be a little awkward, it's going to look weird, and it's not going to be great all the time, but we need to get these buffs out of the cone. Here's a cone, and then we drop a buff, both buffs in the fog, which doesn't help anybody. So here's the spread again. Range, or melee should be over here spread out, range should be spread out. Right there, that was a little too close. Looks like he popped a bubble. And then we have, I think Tony right there was stacked. I have to see what Cheeto and Omar died to. I'm not sure off the top of my head. So position here, Hex is in good position. He is a ranged DPS with Rage, meaning he needs to be behind the everybody else, because he can be picked with cone. That's good positioning. Good position on this rage. Look at the buffs back here. We dropped it way back here for some reason. I think somebody had blight. Not the best, but it's out of the blight, so it's still, you can still get it, so that's okay. I messed up there. I should have made 3.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Right now, just so you know, we need to push him before the 8th rage. That was the 8th one. So we are 1 rage behind it, which means phase 2 is going to be terrible to stay alive. So our DPS was 0.7% too slow. Alright, so here, this gets a little sketchy. Spread out initially and make sure the rage debuffs are out of the way. And then everybody has to find some place to group in the middle until the fog disappears. So I taunt them, bring them in. The rage are in good position there, that's good, and everybody else is stacked up. That's good intermission position. Alright, so we pull them back.
4, 3, 2, 1.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Alright, so the bombs and bursts come out. Healers, I'm going to try to walk out with you. Keep in mind, you'll be taking 3 million damage every couple seconds with the debuff. You have to stay alive. So, I don't know how you want to do it. There's a warlock portal you can take to get to the back, and I can jump out on you. I'm going to try to walk on top of you, in the burst as well. So here, I'm going to blow all my CDs. Now, keep in mind, if you have personal CDs that does damage mitigation, not immunities, I'm not talking about spell block or bubble, you cannot use those. Anything else that has some sort of mitigation, use it here, because the less damage you take, less damage I take, by like a large amount. So I pop everything, I live. Alright, so phase 2 position, so far this looks good. You have the rages out, and everybody's stacked up with fear, this is good. These blades will one-shot you. So how this should happen is all range and healers that do not have the debuff should stand right here, right where my mouse is. That way they can hopefully start baiting some of these blades out. So this is good with the burst. The burst stays on the tank with the buff. And this is what I mean right here by baiting these blades, because we get a lot of crazy blades here.
4,
So right there is really bad. And I want to point out that a melee was standing inside the boss a little too far to dodge a blade and got cleaved and almost killed. I think it was Renz who almost died. You cannot be in the boss. You have to be behind the boss.
1.
This is where we wipe. We're already down 2 healers, so it's probably a wipe anyways, but keep in mind, if we push at 40%, it doesn't matter who's dead. So here we get the next bomb. The healer with the bomb needs to run all the way to the back of the room and just die, but the key is you have to make it to the back of the room. If you do not make it to the back of the room, then you're going to kill everybody else, which we're going to watch right now. And she exploded and killed everybody else, because she didn't make it. Now keep in mind, it's not completely her fault. There should have been 2 more healers alive, and the healer should be healing the person with the bomb as they're running out until you can't reach them anymore. Because you can't, well, at least paladins can't heal themselves and move at the same time. So the other healers have to, who are still alive, has to heal the person running out. We can't do that if two of our healers are dead. So that's not completely her fault. And the idea is, at this point, we just finish pushing and we win.
4,
And that's what we got so far, so let's clean this up.